See, we're going to have a look just to see if there's any green samples.
Looking for someone to draw the character, and when there, by samples, and they fit me. So that's the beginning.
Right. Another of the artists from the very beginning, Carl, what was your path to getting you the job with STC?
Well, I worked in a studio in London with some other comic artists, Ed Hillier, Chris Webster, Woodrow Phoenix, and we all saw Kev's cover when it came in.
I thought we could do that.
And no, we thought, why not have a go? So we did, and I sent some roughs into Richard Burton. I sent some cover roughs, and they were all based on iconic Marvel and DC kind of, well, iconic Marvel and DC covers, because I knew Richard was an old fanboy. And he didn't commission any of those, but it did kind of put me in his, line of vision, whatever. So then I think I did a cover first and then a strip, but they were quite close together. So that was it really, and then I carried on doing it when Deb took over, so for quite a while.
And lastly, of course, some of you may already be aware of this, in one of the Sonic yearbooks there was actually a Shinobi comic strip drawn by John in that. So what led to you getting that put in motion? Presumably, of course, that led straight into you getting the Shinobi gig on the comic itself.
How I got involved was I had a trial by fire from Richard Burton. He gave me 10 days to do 6 pages of Judge Dredd, pencils, inks and colours, and I literally handed it on to him on the 10th day, and the only thing he commented on was that I gave Judge Dredd pink lips. He said Dredd doesn't have pink lips, never do pink lips on Dredd. And then he said I'm working on a new magazine called Sonic the Comic, and he then looked at me and he said I'm looking for marathon runners. He said I'm looking for a person who can start the race, pace the race and finish the race. I'm not looking for sprinters who start off well and then can't finish the race. And then he looked at me with a smile and he said, do you like martial arts? And I sort of said, yeah. And he said, well, I've got this character called Shinobi for Sonic the Comic, would you be interested? And of course I immediately said yes, because I do love martial art films and stuff. And Alan Mackenzie was the writer for it, and don't know if a lot of people know this, but actually Alan is a martial arts expert, so like maybe 5th or 7th dan kind of taekwondo type dude, karate. So yeah, match made in heaven. I thoroughly enjoy doing stuff. So thanks for remembering me.
Well, we're very glad that you all, of course, did get the gig. I mean, 20 years later, here we are still dead passionate about this comic. I know I am. I know you guys are, I'm sure. So. Obviously, a lot of you have drawn many numerous characters over the years. Is there any particular one that you enjoyed more than the others, Carl? Was there a favourite of yours, a favourite strip, favourite character at all?
Well, I did like Tails, because I thought I wasn't wild about Sonic's attitude. I think I'm a bit old-fashioned. I thought it was a bit too cocky. But I thought Tails had a good heart and quite naive. I saw a lot of myself in him, So. I liked Tails, and I liked Cybernick as well, because he was kind of moody and a bit dark as far as Sonic heroes were concerned, I thought. So I guess they were my favourites. But I must say, Amy's been very popular today. I've done a lot of sketches of Amy. So, I like her more now she's popular.
For Anne, was there any particular story or character that you really remember enjoying drawing at the time?
Mine.
Yeah.
I suppose the funny one for me was the first reactor, but it was something problematic because they asked, it was in Barcelona, so they always send messages and things. And they asked me, you must follow the game. So on the first, it was my first job like this, so I tried to follow the game, screen by screen. So you can recognize the game on the comic. But after that, I was happy, okay, and they told me, no, you follow too much. So you need to give some depth. to the story. So
Yeah.
from now, which we
And John, of course, you are among STC fans famous for as well as Shinobi for Eternal Champions. Was there any particular character out of those, like, because they've got such varied, vast designs between them, was there any one that stood out as a particular favourite of yours?
Yeah, Shadow. Yeah, basically I enjoyed everything. I love drawing Eternal Champions and Shinobi, and Richard and Debbie. They just basically let me roll with it. You know, I had no problems with doing the layouts or the work for it. So I can't pick one particular thing that I drew for it, but I enjoyed it. All. It was a great 2-year run for me.
And lastly, before we open the floors up to everyone, Kev, 20 years after the original STC issue, our lovely Mr. Michael Steve Stevenson got you back on to draw the cover to issue 261, the anniversary issue. What were your thoughts of being asked to be involved with that particular issue, and you know, how did it bring any sort of old memories?
Well, it did, yeah. Well, I thought, what? What I found, I was really pleased to be asked to do this because that cover, it was 20 years ago, and it was done in old media. It was airbrushes and markers and watercolour inks, and now I just did it on the computer, and it was interesting for me to compare and contrast my sort of old working methods, my current working methods. So that was.
And he was really into a film called Shogun Assassin, which was Lone Wolf in Cut. And when we were doing the 4 elementals stuff, he said, yeah, I want it to be as intense as We Are the Masters of Death. So I had to keep reminding him that it was a kid's comic and we couldn't be a little too violent or anything. But yeah, he would send me these tapes of certain scenes and things, and I would go around my brothers, he'd put Shinobi on, or Eternal Champions on, and I would just say, freeze it, can you freeze it? And I'd get my camera out and take snaps. Because I didn't have style guides for Shinobi or Eternal Champions, I just had the covers of the games as reference. And that was it.
Much more difficult to draw than stuff.
Yeah. So again, so I was very lucky because I had total freedom, free reign with doing the artwork. But yeah, it was funny getting these packages saying, "Watch this video, 10 minutes in." You know, with all the notes and stuff, and yeah, it was fun. And I actually did enjoy watching the movies as well. So.
Cool. Go at the front, you